Hi, my inspired friends. It's chit chat time with Jen again. And let's continue our talk about the hard to catch horses. I just saw some of my direct messages coming back saying, it's getting easier, but the haltering is hard. It's getting easier, but it's not consistent. Some days I feel like my horse wants to be with me, and other days, not so much. So let's break all of this down again into what is it that the horse wants from us as humans? And what is it that we as humans want from our horse? And so in the olden days, and I was a part of the olden days, I still am, in the olden days, it was assumed that we have dominance over our horses. And so our horses need to be obedient, and we need to have control. And if we can't control them, everything falls apart. So what does that mean in 2023? Those words are actually feel very harsh to most of us who feel a lot more attuned to the sentient nature of a horse. So when we talk about control, what does that conjure up for you? What does the word dominance mean over you? So to sugarcoat things, we said, well, the stallions in the mare are dominant over other horses, and when you're out in a paddock, other horses are dominant over the other horses, and there's a pecking order. But what does a horse see in us as a predator, as a person who doesn't smell like a horse, doesn't act like a horse? So when we think about going out to catch a horse, whether it's our own, or let's say we need to catch that horse over there for a friend who can't catch our horse. Now, I have seen everything from people carrying a bucket of oats out. I've seen people bring a carrot, and what they're trying to do is to bribe a horse to come, because food is such a wonderful, wonderful thing for horses, or not. Sometimes it's not. So think about, what are you doing when you're bribing a horse to come? Now, when we feed a horse at the gate, so a lot of horses are fed right outside the gate, they're fed in a feeding pen, they're fed in their stall, they're fed inside of the gate. It just depends. So let's say that the horses know it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Every morning at 7 o'clock, the horses are going to be fed. There's an association there. They're creatures of habit, just like we are. And so if you think about it, let's say that you want to come every day at 10 o'clock because it's better than 7, and 1 o'clock is too late. 10 o'clock is perfect. I'm going to be there from 10 to 12 every day. So can you think of an association that the horse goes, ooh, I like that. Something that they see that is for them. And I'm not saying that you should bribe them, but I'm saying to you is, let's say that if your horses come to the gate at 10 and you have food rewards for them, what do they think about that? They could go, ooh, it's kind of like if you came to my door and I gave you $10 and you go, ooh, I'd like to come back to that house. Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure. Let's chat about that. But I'm not telling you, I really am not. It's just something you can think about, is what will give your horse that thing, that one thing to go, I like my human. And food is one of those things with positive reinforcement training that we use to say, that's a great answer. If you come to the gate, great answer. I'm here. So again, if you're doing your undemanding time, I don't want any food associated with that. I just want to have you really assessing your own heart, your motives, your energy. and then seeing how the horse responds to that or doesn't respond to that. So if you're still after a week going, wow, my horse still isn't coming, I still don't want you going out into the pasture trying to catch them, because if they're not coming to you to the gate, if you go out there and they're running away from you, I don't have a video up to show you what you can do in the pasture. And that's something that my horses will come to me. So I need to find a horse down in Florida that will do that, so that you can see that I don't want to chase a horse ever. I want to, let's go on a little farther. I want to be able to, if I'm going out into the paddock, I'm not going to bring my halter and lead rope, putting that aside. Horses make associations with humans and objects. The human can be a good thing or a negative thing. The objects can be a good thing or a negative thing. They remember that forever. Let's make the halter and lead rope not a negative. Don't bring it with you. Just go out in the paddock and walk around. Don't go to your horse. Walk around. Observe the trees. Listen to the birds. Oh, there's an eagle up overhead. Oh, look at the beautiful wildflowers. Look at the fall flowers that are coming up. See if you can name them. Take pictures of them. Do something opposite of what you normally would do by going, I'm going to go get that horse. Because that energy they can feel again. And so think about just meandering in your paddock if you feel safe. That is, if you feel safe. There could be 20 horses or 100 horses out there, or one or two. So make sure that all the time protective contact is behind a gate. If you feel safe with this herd, walk around. You can always bring something to protect yourself with, a magical wand. You can flap your wings if horses get too close to you and you don't feel comfortable. You can flap your arms. Don't run away, because that's just not going to work. Don't run after them. Just walk. Go meander. Go on a scavenger hunt for interesting things that horses might want to see too. Because that other horse, let's say there's 5 horses in the paddock, there might be one who goes, what you doing, sister? What you doing? And then another horse will go, well, if that horse, if Rio comes up, oh, he feels safe, maybe I'll feel safe. And all of a sudden you might have all of them, and maybe your horse will go, well, if they all feel safe. And you keep doing your little scavenger hunt. You look around, you look for beautiful things. Does that sound like fun? I think it's very interesting. So when you think about doing things opposite of what your horse expects you to do and make it a game, I love that. The horse may start getting more and more curious. So think about that in your endeavors. Think about, write down, what is it that you want to be doing with your horse, but right now do the opposite. So you want to halter and lead them and go groom them, but do the opposite. Just leave the halter and lead rope behind. Let's make the halter and lead rope something beautiful, something the horse goes, ew, I love that. Okay, how do we do that? We'll chat about that later. So you're going to go on a little meandering walk. Now, if your horse is in a stall, what are you going to do? What I would do if my horse is in a stall and my horse, I have seen horses panic as they come out of a stall. They've been stalled all night long. Some horses love their stall. You just never know. Some horses are extremely aggressive and very scary for owners. I've seen that. I've worked with owners who have had that, and we've had to talk about how does the horse feel inside of that stall and all that pent-up energy, and maybe their commercial feed that causes them more energy than what they need, because in a stall, really all they need is hay and water. And what they need is to go run. They really need to run. Get out there, and giggles out, kick up their feet, go run off the energy of being confined in a jail cell, as I call it. So if you are not able to halter your horse in a stall, what can you do? Keep your undemanding time going. Is your horse turning its back on you? Does it turn its back on you and not want to come to the stall door? So if they're doing that, make sure you move your chair farther away. That too much pressure. Now, this is only for those kind of horses. They can be aggressive. They don't want to be caught or haltered. They may feel threatened when the stall door opens and they race out. And, whether it's you or a barn worker who is taking care of them, it can be a dangerous situation. So think about that. So take your chair, sit it back farther, and then softly observe that. And how does your horse feel when you're not making it? Now, again, I think the best place for the horse then is to be outside, getting all of that energy out. Aggression, that's a whole nother story. And assertive horses who are aggressive are very dangerous. And so let's talk about that if that's your situation. And so every day that this is, again, if your horse is stalled during the day and these are your situations, observe that point where that pressure is taking off by moving your chair back, not looking at it, but you can look out of the corner of your eye and see where your horse starts being curious. And we'll talk about that later. So now I digress and go back to the pasture of the person who is on a scavenger hunt looking around. Where does my horse like to hang out? Write about that. A lot of the horses stay by the food source. So in Minnesota, the horses all kind of hung out at, either in the shelter or by the big round bale of hay, the big round, and there'd be 15 horses that would kind of maneuver their way around, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. The more assertive horses would get in, and everyone took their turn. And a good barn owner would put 2 rounds out to make sure that horses stay safe and there's not this food aggression. So look for where they feel comfortable and who are their best friends and what do they like to do? Where do they like to sleep? Do they lay down? Do they stand up? Get to know your horse and then go for a walkabout. I love that. A scavenger hunt, a walkabout, one of those things. And then come back. I finally brought my notebook. My notebook that I write my little notes in to talk about what I'm doing, how my energy is, what my expectations are, and how do my horses respond, react to those things. And it's everything from riding to trailer loading to leading to haltering to catching your horse to everything. So as we are gentle observers and watching and doing those things, go back and sit down and write. Write in your notebook. Read a book. Drink your coffee. Mine's water. Do those things. Now, I'm not with my horses right now. It's 95 degrees out. So eventually, when I'm really much stronger, I will give a video of what I'm doing with this. And if my horses have already been fed and I get there about 10 o'clock, they're way out in the big paddock and they see me, but I may not be a big draw to them. And that's fine. I'm happy about that. Be out there eating. So I do different things. I get my stuff ready. I usually groom them right outside of their paddock right there, or I bring them into this little stall area that is made up for us. Just depends. And sometimes I just go do a walkabout, and all of a sudden my horses are going, ooh, you're here. Let me walk with you, because good things happen when they're with me. Do good things happen with you? How do you feel about it? Is the same thing of our own insecurities with people, how we feel about ourselves doing things. So I'm an introvert, but an extrovert. I don't know. What does that mean? I get more introverted as I get older, but I'm truly an extrovert because I get energy around nature and my horses, but I need to come home, and I get energy from teaching. So I pretend all of you are out there asking questions, and so I can talk for a long time. But so this is my day 2 of what do we do to help catch a horse that doesn't want to be caught. This isn't about dangerous horses. This is about horses that just, are new to you, new horse owner, and you don't know what to do. Let's talk. Or your horses have gotten sour on, the agenda that we have for them, because that happens. I don't want to do that. And they start running away, and we start using bribery and treats wrongly. We don't want to do that. So what we want is our horses to come to a place of curiosity and saying, you're a good thing. So today I'm going to tell you, you're amazing. You're awesome. Be blessed. I know we get insecure about things. I do too. This is so hard for me to do with nobody here, and I'm in my office, and it's hard. So let's build this community together, an inspired community. Blessings on you, on your herd. Blessings on this community. Share this with others. And please share, comment below on what you've done to connect with your horse when they don't want to. I have tons of stories about this. Tons. So fun. And I've learned to grow by being a good observer of what horses do in the paddock. I've learned from doing the wrong things, because I've done that. I've learned from my learning. And so by teaching, I even learned from that. So be blessed. Have a great day. Have a wonderful time with your horses. I can't wait to hear back from you.